Do you think women are more promiscuous now in 2026 than they were in the 1940s?
Everyone is so quick to call women gold diggers, but have you ever been a woman telling a man that you have your own place?
Does being an attractive woman make dating more difficult or easy for you?
A lot of women talk about how they love being single. Being single makes someone any less valid or worse than anyone else.
What if the biggest surprise of summer 2026 isn't where people are vacationing, but how many men are genuinely enjoying being single? Why are more men spending their summers traveling, hitting fitness goals, making money, and having fun without stressing about relationships? And why is this trend getting so much attention online? Stay with us until the end of this video, because this summer may be exposing a major shift in how men view happiness and freedom.
Not surprised to have what? Been single for a very long time? Why does that come as a surprise? I find it very ironic that a lot of women talk about how they love being single, and many women find it to be empowering, except of course, oftentimes when another woman, so it seems, tries to insult another one by insinuating that there's something wrong with being single. Were you aware that there are thousands, if not millions, of people who are very happily choosing to remain single? Also, most importantly, being in a relationship doesn't make any person any more valid or better than anyone else, and nor does being single make someone any less valid or worse than anyone else. It is really time for some individuals to give up this sort of antiquated thinking that a person is only a complete person if they're in a relationship. If that's how you feel about yourself, well, then I highly suggest that someone takes a hard look inside and determine why exactly someone would want to think that.
For years, people assumed that single men were simply waiting for the right relationship to come along. But in 2026, many men seem perfectly comfortable enjoying life exactly as it is.
Does being an attractive woman make dating more difficult or easy for you?
It makes it harder, and especially when you're career driven, it makes it like 10 times harder.
When you say 10 times harder as a career driven woman, what do you mean?
I think that men are scared of women in power, so then when it comes down to dating them, they feel like inferior to them instead of like a partner, where it should be like a partnership.
How have some of the men that you've dated before shown you that they're inferior to you?
To be honest with you, I've actually haven't been dating, so I've been single for a really long time.
How long are we talking?
I was married for almost 10 years and then we separated, so I've been single now for 5 years.
What killed your 10-year commitment to this man?
Woman.
Oh, you were married to a woman?
Yes.
Why'd you end your marriage with her?
We just grew apart, you know? My parents got sick, I had to move back home, and it was just kind of like things happen, we grow apart, and you just can't really move on from certain types of situations, you know? I think a lot of it had to do with that she didn't feel good enough to be with somebody like me. She always felt like insecure and, you know, I guess like that I was more superior, and it was never like that, but that's how she felt.
So the same problems you run into with men, you ran into with women too.
Yeah, and like even now, like it's really hard to find somebody who's like, hey, I only have like 15 hours out of the week to date with you. Like, is that okay? And a lot of people just don't want that. Or you run into the problem of like men don't want to actually have like conversations, and it just comes into they want to just have sex, and it kind of just like makes it hard.
So ideally, are you shooting for a woman or a man now?
I think that I'm shooting for more for a man, to be honest with you. I had a really great relationship with my ex-wife. Like, I'm really happy for what we had, but you know, on to new things. You never know.
Instead of spending every weekend chasing dates, many are focusing on experiences. Road trips, gym sessions, side businesses, hobbies, and adventures have become the new priorities.
They want to put all the single women in single women camps together for marriage training. And there's one of two ways this is going to go. Either it's going to be brilliant. The first thing is we're all going to find wives. Even people who never thought they wanted a wife, they're going to find wives too. There's going to be so many wives in one place, but the men aren't going to be a part of it. Or option two, We form a coven, and there are just covens of witches everywhere across the USA, to the point where like they probably have to bring back the Salem witch trials. But you cannot tell me that you think it's a good idea to put women who refuse to conform in a group together and think that we're not going to rise up together in some form of fashion, whether it's finding wives, whether it's starting a coven, or whether it's just forming a really sweet community where we teach each other new skills, new knowledge, and we, you know, play games with each other and have drinks, and we have all of like the best girls' nights. Like, can't wait to meet all of our new best friends at Single Camp in America, USA 2026.
What's interesting is that these men don't appear lonely. In fact, many seem more relaxed than ever. They control their schedules, spend money how they want, and answer to nobody.
I don't know if anyone agrees, but at my big girl age of 30 plus, I've come to the realization that I'm going to be single forever. And you know what? That is perfectly okay, because it does not matter how cute you are, how many boxes you check off on paper, your degrees, a man will still deem you unfit of commitment in a relationship. I strongly believe that God has blessed me with love through motherhood of this cool baby boy back here, and I just might not be deemed fit for an intimate and interpersonal relationship with a man. 6'4", dark-skinned chocolate man of my desires. In this season, I'm embracing loneliness without the sadness. One day at a time.
Social media is filled with examples of men documenting bachelor lifestyles that look surprisingly enjoyable. That image is influencing more men than many people expected.
The reason that men are so unhappy in a lot of relationships is because what they perceive to be a compromise. I've seen comments from men time and time again where they perceive compromises to be things like being monogamous. Like, being in a monogamous relationship with you and not betraying you is a compromise that he is making because he could be having fun out with other women, but he's not. Another compromise that men make is spending the money that they earn on you, on a family, the family that he asked for. Another compromise men perceive that they are making is having to consider the feelings of their partner. Having to consider the feelings of the partner that you asked to live with, that you asked to marry, that you asked to build a life with. You are upset that you now must consider their thoughts and feelings. Men are programmed to underperform in relationships while women are programmed to overperform to compensate for this. And women wonder, why is he so resentful when our relationship is good and I do so much for him? And it's because no matter how much you do for a man, if he feels like his daily life is a compromise he had to make for you, where do you think all that resentment is going to go? It's going to go towards you.
A growing number of men have realized that happiness doesn't always require a relationship. Sometimes it comes from freedom, self-improvement, and having complete control over your own life.
Everyone is so quick to call women gold diggers, but have you ever been a woman telling a man that you have your own place?
Oh, lock in here, Women's Fear, because I'm glad somebody brought it up. It's time for another Laura Drop story time, but yes, another episode of It's Always Projection with these men. When surveyed, men time and time again do prove that they're actually the OG gold diggers. And we've known this for a very long time, it's just not widely talked about. When you think about it, it almost makes sense, right? Because these men usually are obsessed with power, right? Sports cars, Wolf of Wall Street, success, status symbols, things that are trophies. On paper, men will frequently say, yes, they want high-achieving women, very successful women, women who are as smart or if not smarter than them. And yes, I believe there's an emphasis on paper there. Because in practice, I think they want these up until the point where it starts to threaten them and their egos. There's also an important conversation to be had with the cognitive dissonance that on paper, they also still report that they want a housewife. So why are you constantly only attracted to successful women who are invested in their careers just to try and knock them down and domesticate them? Boy, do we not have the time for that conversation today. But yes, even I have noticed more specifically that the more successful I become, the more money I make, and especially when I bought my own place, men's attitudes and the way they see me changed dramatically. I've had exes from years ago come back and resurface out of nowhere and hit me with a, how have you been doing? I know you know how I've been doing. All my accounts are public, sir. My condo, honestly, not that impressive. You've seen it. It's not even furnished because I don't know what I'm doing with my life and furniture is expensive. But one time I was talking to a boy and he had to use the bathroom. He came up here and when he found out I owned it, he just started giving himself the grand tour. I swear to God, he was about to run home, pack his bags, and show up. I don't have kids, obviously, but I do have Leonard. And men, when they find out about Leonard, they're like, oh, we're best friends now. No, you're not. He hardly likes me. Get out of my home.
What surprises many observers is how little urgency these men seem to feel. They're not rushing into commitment, and they're not panicking about being single.
Do you think women are more promiscuous now in 2026 than they were in the 1940s?
I don't know. We don't have studies or statistics.
Hang on. If it's the case that people were having lots and lots as much unprotected then as they are now, right? And it's the case that abortion is universally outlawed, which it was, then how come we saw the rate of single motherhood so much less than we do now?
Because unfortunately, and this is another reason why I'm here, the government has incentivized by many ways to divide the nuclear family. And so
yeah, but that's not the question. The question is asking about promiscuity. If it's the case that women were just as promiscuous then as now, but did not have birth control, and we still saw way less single motherhood, wouldn't that stand to reason logically that they were way less promiscuous then than now?
No, I think that.
Wait,
so I think
what is the number of premarital partners you've had? Do you think that number has declined or increased since the 1950s?
Probably increased. I don't know.
So women are more promiscuous today than they were 60, 70, 80.
Are men equally
How
more
would that matter? Great red herring. How would it matter?
Because you say that now.
Yes, men are more promiscuous today.
Yes, we agree.
Correct. So now you're saying that at this point in history, all women should be treated.
I didn't say, holy shit, straw man, you are the queen of straw mans.
No,
when did I
said
say
that,
all women?
Yes, you said.
I didn't say all women should be precluded from traditional treatment. That's not what I said.
Right?
Tell me what I said.
Yes.
Because I think you have selective hearing, like you don't want to actually be good faith. You want to straw man my position. I did not say that.
Instead, they're building lives they actually enjoy. And when someone enjoys their current situation, they become much harder to pressure into changing it.
Going out clubbing the other day made me never want a girlfriend ever again, bro. This was my first time ever clubbing, and off the drink, bro, I didn't even know this about myself, but I was spitting game at anything that walked, bro. It was bad. I don't even know how many girls I went up to, but they all had boyfriends. They were all telling me, I remember, I have a man, and I was just like, I don't care, stupid shit like that. I was drunk, I didn't know. They would just laugh, and then they would, kiss me back, bro, they knew. It's like, when you're drunk, you kind of know what you're doing, but you, also, can't really control it. If your girl goes out and, drinks with her friends, bro, no, she's definitely, cheating, bro. There's no doubt in my mind now that, she's cheating. No insecure shit, I'm not letting my girl do that, bro. Nah. I probably ruined at least, 6 relationships in the grand scheme of things. At some point, those dudes will find out. Even if you're drunk, your partner should always be in the back of your mind. You should have a little bit of anxiety, oh my God, or a little thought that, oh, my partner might not like this. When some dude like me comes up to a girl and starts hitting on them, that thought should immediately be in your head. I don't know.
The biggest shift may be psychological. Men are no longer viewing singleness as a problem to solve. They're viewing it as a lifestyle that can be enjoyable on its own.
You ever start talking to a new guy and then over the course of a very short conversation you realize, oh my God, this man can't fucking read. Literacy is at an all-time low.
As a result, relationships are no longer automatic goals. They must compete with a life that is already peaceful, productive, and fulfilling.
Hi, conservative girlies. I'm reading the recap from the Turning Point USA Women's Leadership Summit, and wow, lots to unpack, right? Lots to unpack. But I did want to start here. The reason that y'all can't find conservative men, the reason that conservative men just don't seem to be into you is because they are in my DMs. Yeah, conservative men are in my DMs. They are in every liberal woman's DMs. And I have proof for days, okay? They love us. And let's talk a little bit about why, right? So at Turning Point USA, one of the common themes for women is that they need to submit. There's a lot around submission and doing whatever your husband or partner says and doing all of his chores, whatever, which is actually antithetical to how most men operate and what attracts them to a partner, right? Men like the chase, and I'm speaking in generalities here, right? Men enjoy the chase in a way that I, as a woman, do not. I don't want to chase a man, but I love when a man chases me. And men can sense desperation from a mile away, okay? And they can sense when you're just desperate to be married and do whatever they say. And men don't find desperation attractive, babe. They don't. And if they do find it attractive, at the very least, they will not respect you. So when you've begun a courtship with the agreement that you're gonna do whatever this man says, do you know what happens? He will just move the line further and further to see how much he can get away with, which leads to abuse and cheating and all kinds of things that we see play out in the Republican Party all the time, right? Which is why they end up coming to liberal women, because not only are we not chasing them because we are so not interested, they also can sense that we respect ourselves and that our happiness does not rely on their approval of us the way that y'all's does, right? My mom gave me fantastic dating advice in high school. She said, be the chooser, not the chosen. Y'all are the chosen. Y'all are just kind of accepting whatever is coming next because you want to get married that bad. And girls, I gotta tell you, it's a tough watch. From where I'm standing, it's a really tough watch. So perhaps your better bet to attract these men that you think you want, at least right now, trust me, been there, done that, worn that t-shirt, is to align yourself with values that, at the very least, respect women as people. Just a thought.
This doesn't mean men have given up on relationships. It simply means they're becoming more selective and less willing to sacrifice their peace for the wrong situation.
And unlike women who are quite literally begging to be left the fuck alone, men cannot handle it. They're throwing a little bit of a hissy fit.
Really, no one's socializing. What am I supposed to do? Chase a guy down the street that does not want to be bothered and ask him if he is single?
Marry me, I can move to your house, I can have nothing as long as you are nice to me because I am too lonely. I really want to get married.
I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't drink anything without feeling pain, true pain.
Why are we not asking women out on dates anymore? Why do I shoot my shot more than any of these guys? Do you know how good of a chance you would have walking up to a girl, telling her she's beautiful, asking her if she's single, asking her out on a date? Shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot. When did we stop doing this and why?
You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a fucking roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her fucking 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how the fuck to get back in these fucking streets so I can figure out, so 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy.
Please show me the video of any man throwing a hissy fit because women want to be left alone. Now, this is cope from this woman saying this because she absolutely cannot find a man, can't understand. And so now she's retreating into this defensive behavior, this defensive narrative. And what's truly sad about this is that in the other clips, you see women that legitimately, right or wrong, whatever, I'm not breaking down each one of those, but they legitimately want relationships. They are having hissy fits or breakdowns or whatever you want to label it. And this woman like this first one, these women will listen to this first one, they'll feel bad like they're not empowered enough or they're not woman enough. When reality is they're being women. They're longing for connection. They're longing for a relationship. Yet this first woman is going to act like it's men that are throwing the hissy fits. That men are the ones that are acting like we can't live without relationships. Again, show me one video. Show me just one of a man having a hissy fit, because men are dealing with it. Men are going and getting hobbies, going to the gym, starting businesses, getting friends, doing whatever, because women have said we want to be left alone. And now that that is coming to fruition, we're seeing what is coming of it.
Whether people agree with it or not, summer 2026 is highlighting something many never expected. A growing number of men seem perfectly happy enjoying life on their own terms.
Single girl summer, so it's time to set up your curriculum so that you can bulletproof your standards and stop treating singlehood like a disease in a waiting room for Prince Charming. Week 1 of 12, this is your homework. There's 12 weeks because there's 3 months of summer. Starting off strong is I want you to calculate your hourly rate after taxes at your job. And if you have multiple jobs, put it all together into one space. This will help you start seeing things in terms of hours worked, which for me, that helps me not impulsively spend. Number 2, I want you to ask yourself, what is one skill that you could begin to learn to get ahead professionally and start learning more about it for free on YouTube. I promise everything that you need to know is most likely on YouTube already. And for me, what I think of right off the bat is ads. If I could tell you to learn anything, I would learn how to do ads in business or like the Facebook business suite. Number 3 is read a book with the intention of writing a report on it. I think it's really important to utilize our brain in a critical way, and what a great way to start doing that. And you get to choose the book. It's not even a teacher forcing you to do it. Next, I want you to log the weights that you use this week so that you go heavier next week by at least 5 pounds, because progressive overload is how you'll start seeing results, and it's not gonna happen by accident. And I promise you, you're not gonna remember next week what you did last week, swear. Next, I want you to do a habit audit. What do you do daily, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and be honest with yourself and ask yourself when, why, how long, and if it's the bad or the ugly, what would you need in order to make a change and detach from that habit? You don't even have to do it yet, but like, what would you need to make that happen? Next, I want you to put a lock on your screen time. I use the app called Opal, and maybe that's one of your ways that you're implementing your habit audit. Next, I want you to set a 7-minute timer at the end of the day and just spot clean before bed. I don't want to say 15 minutes. I don't want to say 10 minutes. I feel like 7 minutes is a random number. You can choose your number for you, but make it less than 10. And just go around your apartment or your house and just spot clean and do as much as you can without like stressing about it, but just do a quick spot clean because it makes a big difference in the morning. Next, I want you to make invites on Canva for a girls' night. This could be a picnic, it could be a games night, it could be you're cooking dinner for them, or even just like hosting like coffee and desserts, whatever you want it to be, but make invites on Canva. I think that's so fun and fresh and funky. Next, I want you to leave a hobby out in your living space within grabbing distance. I have found that if my junk journaling stuff stays in a closet on the back corner, then guess who's never gonna junk journal? Me. I have to leave my hobbies right out in front. So even if I only have 5 minutes, I can at least engage in it in that way. And then next, I want you to find a cool local event or class, and I want you to book it, and I want you to go alone. This is gonna be a solo date. I encourage you to do at least one solo date a month, if not more. But if that seems really overwhelming, maybe do one this summer and build up to it and work up to it in that way. For me, I just found a sound bath at the Arizona Center of Science that's like in their big dome, and they're gonna have the stars up there. So I'm very excited about that. And then lastly, I want you to delete 100 photos from your camera roll. I know you have 4,000 photos because I have 4,000 photos, and it's time to begin the digital declutter. So this is your first week of your summer for your single girl curriculum. I hope that you enjoy. There is no report card. Don't worry, I'm not grading you, but come back next week and we'll get into week 2.
So here's the real question. If more men are discovering that freedom, purpose, and peace make them happy, what happens when being single stops feeling like a temporary phase and starts feeling like a genuine choice?
Men stop playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.